Alright, so in this video we are going to do another leetcode challenge, and in this challenge we are going to find out longest valid parenthesis. So it is written, given a string containing just the characters like the first parenthesis and the second parenthesis, like the opening and the closing parenthesis, find the length of the longest valid well formed parenthesis substring. Like two examples are given. So if suppose this opening one, then another opening, then one closing, so in this actually valid parenthesis will be one opening and one closing, and that is the number of parentheses for that case is 2, because one opening and one closing. Similarly, for this example, the first one is closing, then opening, then closing, then opening, then closing, then again closing. So valid parenthesis will be only this opening and closing, then opening and closing. So number of valid parentheses will be 4. So how I am tackling this problem is, so as usual I am I have written the code in Python, and in leetcode you just need to write the function like inside this class of solution, and this definition longest valid parenthesis self and s, and this first and second line was given. Rest of the code I have added. So what I have done in here I will try to explain. So first I am defining an empty list, and the list is A, and this A is the given string which is automatically this code will access, and it is given by the leetcode. So first I will check if the length of the string is greater than 1 or not. Why I do this? Because otherwise some cases, if this condition is not given, if the parenthesis if the string starts with only suppose one element, and that is the opening parenthesis, then it's a problem, because in my code I always look for the parenthesis at a particular point, and also look for the right next element in the list, in the string, so the string I need at least is greater than 0, and even if it is a 0 length string, like only one parenthesis is there, it's automatically 0, and that also comes from this code also. Answer is 0, because in that case there is no closing of the parenthesis, so there is no opening and closing of the parenthesis, only single element, so the answer will be automatically 0, and that also comes from here. So if the length of this is greater than 1, for that case I'll do, I'll check the length of the string which is given, and I'll run the I in that range from 0 to the so if suppose the length of the string is 5, then it will run from 0 to 4. And another condition I will add in here, if I will run I up to only that point when the so length of s, suppose if it is 5 minus 2, which is 3, because I need to I plus 1 is automatically counted in here, so I will run from 0 to 3, and if the string length if the string has four element, the fourth element is automatically counted by I plus 1. So what I am doing is I'm checking if any element at a particular point is opening parenthesis, and if the then I'll check if the right next element is a closing parenthesis, and if this condition is satisfied, what I'll do, I'll append that number in that empty list. Okay, so if I find this, suppose this opening parenthesis at a position of 2, then 2 will be appended in here, and automatically if the third position of the string is closing parenthesis, so it is satisfied, and then 2 will be appended in 1, and that will correspond to 1 closed parenthesis. Okay, and I'll replace this parenthesis with the empty sequence. Okay, so by doing this replacement, I'll define a new string which is being reduced. So every time I find a opening and closed parenthesis, it will be replaced by so one number will be given in here in the A list, and it will be replaced by a empty string, and by that I will reduce the length of that given string. and then again I will repeat this process again for this um, new string that I have defined, and similar kind of process. And at that time also, when I'll get this opening parenthesis, I'll put again one number in here for this in this empty list, and by that method all the remaining parentheses. Suppose why I am doing this, I will tell you in little later why this another loop I am using. Actually, for this kind of examples, only this first loop is sufficient, but for some kind of examples, this thing is needed. And return I'll return this double of the total length. Then I'll measure the length of this list, so how many times I found this closed parenthesis. And because now one closed parenthesis means two parentheses, so I'll return the twice the length of this list that I have found in here, and that will be our answer. And as you can see, my answer is correct, with the expected answer. And so the code is right. Now what we can do, now here I have defined so why I have done like this kind of two list I am using, that I will show you. Just wait for a moment. Okay, so okay, so as you can see here, sorry, it is for this kind of let me just zoom it down. Yeah, so for this kind of example, okay, for this kind of example, so what if you notice closely, so there are two closed parentheses here at 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but out of them also there is one closed parenthesis, like 0 1 2 3 4 5 at 5, and then 6 7 8 9 10 at 5 and 10 also. If you, there are larger parentheses within which these two closed parentheses is there. So to count this kind of parenthesis, I am running this another loop. So actually what we can do, we can use another loop in here, and no need for, we can make this code little bit shorter, but for now I'll just put it like this. And yeah, so for this case, like number of parentheses is 12 in this case, and let's check if that is correct. But where, yeah, it is printing in here, let's not print it that. And yeah, let's see if there are 12 parentheses. So this 1 2, then this 3 4 5 6, then 7 8 9 10, and this bigger one, okay, 5 and 10th position, 11 12. So the number is 12, so this is correct. But in case suppose there is another one I give, okay, another one I give, okay, so I think by this code it will not be able to detect that one, it will still show 12. Let's see. Yeah, it is still showing 12. So why it cannot detect this one is I have to use this loop another time, because you see, after if I define it like per dot replace, and then okay, with an empty sequence, and this is per 1, and if I print this per 2, then you will see there is still one closed parenthesis left. So what we need to do is we have to run this thing one more time. If I just add this code one more time, then you will see that the result will be 14 in that case. and but this you have to do like this for the part 2. Part 2, this is part 2, this is part 2, and this is not needed in here. Okay, so if I do that, see now the is 14 and there are 14 close parentheses that is there. So the thing is that how many times this kind of big parenthesis will arise, like here is first bigger one, under that second bigger one, and then they are under that two close parentheses are there. So how many times they will come, you have to add that loop. I think we can do, so we can apply some loop in here and try to shorten that code, and yeah, that can be done, but that will require a little bit of thinking. So I'll try to do that now. Let's see if I can do it right now. If I cannot, I'll just upload up to this, and maybe you can think of yourself how to figure that out. I think that should not be very difficult, but let's just try to do that. Okay, so what logic should we use? The okay, so this loop is getting repeated. Okay, so we can add one for loop here for we can add one for loop here for what we need for we can add one for loop for what we need is, so par 1 if till, so we want that till par 1 doesn't have this, both of this. Par 1 for append I par 1 replace this and with an empty string. Okay, then there will be two more brackets, so okay, check for length of or we can take one if loop here par 1 or let's say par j is greater than 1. We'll check one more time if this is length of par j is one more time. Okay, par j equal to if we do that, let's see what happens. Okay, par equal to for j in range of length of bar and this and this. What is that? Okay. Oh, wow. Got that, right? Wow, it's beautiful. So what I have done, I am just looping over this j. With a single loop we getting the answer. So here I have just added for j in the range of length of par, and so it will run in that range, and the loop code earlier I explained, and then I have replaced the par with this new par, where I replace this close parenthesis with the empty sequence, and with that I have just then this will be a new par, and then again it will go in range. Okay, let's just check. If I add one more parenthesis in here, two more parentheses in here, it should give 16, and it gives 16. All right, so this code is fine. So instead of that I can just submit this code in leetcode. It will be good. All right, so yeah, yes, it's great. I'm really happy. And for this will be here, and this will be here, and let's just check it. Okay, so yeah, that par I need to replace with that s that they give. For that this error is showing. Yeah, at least I'm very happy that it came out right. I think I'll put the whole video. Yeah, I hope you like it or not, whatever. I hope it helps you. Again there is something. Where is the local okay, sorry. Here also this will be s dot plus, right? Run code. Yeah, correct. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.